From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now at 4:30, more central Indiana school districts are planning to go virtual next week, but experts are now saying schools aren't where the COVID-19 is spreading. Why the CDC says students are more safe in the classroom.
It's real, and even healthy people can get it. And once you got it, and you got it to this degree, it's all over.
An Indianapolis nurse recovering from COVID-19 after getting a double lung transplant. Now she's sharing her harrowing story with WRTV. And Eli Lilly making more progress in treating patients with the virus. We'll take a look at their new drug being authorized for emergency use. But first, here on this Friday morning, we want to thank you for joining our team here on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is standing by with the check of our forecast for today. And Todd, it was windy as I was walking into the station this morning.
It was. I just had to load up the right graphic. I had the wrong show loaded up there, so that's why I had a little delay there. But you're right, Lauren. It was windy out there with temperatures that are mild. That is the good news. But the winds will continue to decrease here as the day goes on. Now, that is the good news. But look at these gusts still up to 32 miles per hour in Indy, as well as 23 in Bloomington, 32 in Kokomo. These temperatures will be pretty mild throughout the day. That is the good news because we still have a southerly wind. But look how these wind speeds drop as the day goes on, down from the 20s into the teens eventually for mile per hour, and the wind speed as we go forward throughout the day. A little bit of cloud cover out there drifting through the area. It'll go through uneventful here throughout the day today. We don't have any precipitation in this forecast, and here are those temperatures, and we are above our average high for the day today at 4:30 in the morning. 59 in Lafayette, 55 in Indy. 55 is the current temperature in Bloomington as well. Going forward, temperatures back into the 60s. So today actually might be a little bit better than yesterday because we don't have the wind. There'll be a little more in the way of cloud cover around. But all in all, anytime you're in the 60s again at the end of November, you're in pretty good shape, Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out the door this morning. Here's I-70 at Sherman Drive. This is over on the east side. You can see traffic is moving along up to speed in that area. No delays to slow you down. Of course, we'll continue to keep a close eye on your roads throughout your Friday and keep you updated this morning. Indiana's COVID-19 cases making another alarming jump as the State Department of Health reports more than 7,400 new cases. That's an increase of more than 1,000 from Wednesday's numbers. You can see every day this past week, the state has reported more than 5,000 new cases. More than 275,000 total cases have been confirmed since this pandemic began. 59 more Hoosiers also died with the virus, and that brings the state's death toll to 4,889. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is officially advising Americans not to travel at all for the holidays. The agency says travel right now could spread the virus from one part of the country to another. But for those who are still planning to visit family, the CDC urges people to wear masks, social distance, and wash your hands. This morning will be the last day for in-person learning for IPS for more than a month. The district and others will go 100% remote on Monday. That's a week before all Marion County schools are required to go online. While its intent is to prevent the spread of COVID-19, the head of the CDC is saying that schools are not the main source of the spread.
The infections that we've identified in schools, when they've been evaluated, were not acquired in schools. They were actually acquired in the community and in the household. It's small family gatherings where people become more comfortable. They remove their face mask and they get together, and it's this silent epidemic that begins to transmit. But it's not inter-school transmission. The truth is, for kids K through 12, one of the safest places they can be.
Well, CDC Director Robert Redfield made this remark during the White House Coronavirus Task Force press conference yesterday. He says it would be counterproductive to close schools in an effort to contain the virus. This was the first media briefing for the task force since July. At 4:34, an Indianapolis nurse survives COVID-19 after needing a double lung transplant. She's one of the few to undergo such a surgery from the virus. WRTV's Stephanie Wade shares her powerful story.
It has been quite a journey for Carrie Wegg. She has worked tirelessly as a NICU nurse for 25 years at St. Vincent Hospital when she found herself fighting for her own life with COVID-19 in that very same hospital.
It's devastating. I never thought something like this could happen to me. It's been so hard because I was healthy and I thought if I ever got it, I would be fine.
Carrie Weg first got sick in June, diagnosed with pneumonia. Then in July, she, her husband, and 2 children tested positive for the coronavirus.
I do work in a hospital, and my husband also works in a hospital. It's very possible we got it from the hospital.
Her family had mild symptoms and recovered quickly, while Weg, on the other hand, did not.
It's been since July, since I've seen my boys. And I haven't been able to hug them or love on them. And they miss me so much.
Put on an echo machine, heart and lung bypass, and not improving for over a month. On August 19th, she says doctors discussed removing care.
Their dad had to sit down and tell them their mother might die. And they've had to try and cope with that.
But she says her husband wouldn't give up. Calls were made, and she was transferred to Northwestern Memorial Hospital in Chicago on September 5th for a double lung transplant. Northwestern was the first to do a COVID-19 double lung transplant in the country, and Weg was only the 6th survivor to undergo the surgery.
I'm eternally grateful to the family of my donor. I don't know anything about them or how they died, but they give me the gift of life.
Grateful to be alive, but devastated financially with nonstop medical bills. She suffers in her bed while her fellow healthcare workers continue the fight.
One of my coworkers got it, and she died. She died.
Praying people see this story and take this virus seriously.
I'm hoping my message as a nurse who didn't expect any of this can get out there and bring it home to people who don't necessarily want to wear masks or want to isolate themselves or quarantine. This is real.
Stephanie Wade, WRTV.
Stephanie, thank you for that story. The time right now is 4:37. Indianapolis-based Eli Lilly now has emergency use authorization for another treatment to help hospitalized COVID-19 patients. Lilly says the FDA granted emergency authorization for baricitinib. The drug is an anti-inflammatory that commonly treats rheumatoid arthritis. Studies show the drug combined with Gilead Sciences' remdesivir helped people recover from COVID faster and shorten their hospital stay. While this is emergency use authorization, baricitinib has not officially been approved by the FDA to treat COVID-19. The FDA is still evaluating the efficacy and the safety of this treatment in ongoing clinical trials. Earlier this month, Eli Lilly also received an EAU for an experimental antibody treatment. And Tuesday at 7 p.m., we are diving deeper into the COVID crisis in Indiana. You'll hear from a 30-year-old man who survived a harrowing battle with the coronavirus, plus the candid conversations with healthcare workers who are putting their health on the line to protect you. And we're talking with experts, everything you need to know about a potential vaccine. Our WRTV news special Inside the COVID Crisis airs Tuesday at 7 p.m. Governor Eric Holcomb has named the state's first Secretary of Education. Dr. Katie Jenner, his senior education advisor, will begin her new role January 11th. She's been an educator since 2005. Holcomb signed a bill in 2017 to make Indiana's top education official an appointed position rather than elected one by voters beginning in 2025. But after the current superintendent of instruction, Dr. Jennifer McCormick, announced she would not seek a second term, state lawmakers passed a bill last year that removed that transition up to 2021. A program to get people to start making payments on delinquent child support obligations in exchange for a reinstatement of their suspended driver's license is coming back to Marion County next month. The Good Faith Initiative will resume on December 1st and will run through the 31st. It allows non-custodial parents in Marion County who've had their driver's license suspended due to delinquent child support payments the chance to get their license back. If you make an initial payment towards your child support obligation and agree with the Marion County Prosecutor's Office to continue to meet your newly ordered amount, you'll get your new driver's license reinstated if it's been suspended. After more than 2 weeks, election results are still being certified. Coming up, the outcome of Georgia's recount and President Trump's latest move to challenge the results. And companies producing COVID tests are having a hard time keeping up. The challenges they're beginning to face with the rapid increase in demand. Todd.
And Lauren, the wind continues to die down here this morning. That is the good news. And we still find ourselves in this little wedge of mild air. Once again, temperatures in the 60s later on this afternoon. Take advantage because you see what's off to our west. 30s and 40s. Well, that is heading our way. We'll talk all about it coming up in your Storm Team forecast. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on WRTV.
Welcome back. It is 4:43 on your Friday. As more election results are certified, President Trump is making new moves to fight the outcome, and President-elect Joe Biden is still facing barriers in his transition. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has the latest now from Washington.
This morning, Democrats in the House are demanding answers from the woman who's blocking Joe Biden from beginning his transition into the White House. Top Democrats are now giving Emily Murphy, head of the General Services Administration, until Monday to explain the delay, saying she has no conceivable argument to deny Biden won the election.
It would really be great if the GSA would follow the law.
There is no excuse not to share the data and let us begin to plan.
It comes as more election results are certified. Georgia overnight wrapping up a statewide audit reaffirming Biden's win. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is facing allegations of impropriety amid claims that election officials in Michigan backtracked on confirming election results after they were directly contacted by President Trump.
Candidates don't choose who wins an election, the voters do.
Two of Michigan's top lawmakers are set to meet with the president at the White House today, raising new concern that they may step in and choose electors that will vote for Trump, despite Biden's 150,000 vote lead in the state.
It's certainly improper for any candidate on either side of the aisle to attempt to interfere with or obstruct a process that is very well ingrained in the law.
Trump's surrogate still falsely claiming there was widespread fraud and launching long-shot legal challenges, hoping to overturn the election results.
Our votes are counted in Germany and in Spain by a company owned by affiliates of Chavez and Maduro.
But among some Republicans, support now wearing thin. Senator Mitt Romney tweeting, "It is difficult to imagine a worse, more undemocratic action by a sitting American president." Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
At 4:45, the Department of Justice has filed a complaint against a couple on the hit reality series Tiger King, citing recurring inhumane treatment and improper handling of animals. Jeffrey and Lauren Lowe are accused of failing to provide basic veterinary care, safe living conditions, and appropriate food for the animals featured on Tiger King. According to the complaint, the couple violated the Endangered Species Act and the Animal Welfare Act while operating the Greater Wynwood Exotic Animal Park out in Oklahoma. It also asked the court to require the Lowes to relinquish certain animals to the United States. If you never got a stimulus check, now's your last chance to see if you're eligible. You have until tomorrow at 3 p.m. to register with the IRS. The agency sent letters to about 9 million Americans who may be able to claim the money. That includes people who don't typically file tax returns due to low income and college students. You'll be looking for the economic impact payment registration on the IRS website. The increase in COVID-19 cases is stressing the system for testing, and long lines are forming outside of testing sites now. The companies that make the supplies say they're trying to keep up with this demand. There's also an issue with human resources. Experts say there is only so much lab capacity and only so many trained people providing testing, while officials stress testing is important and has to be done strategically.
Been a lot of emphasis put on testing, but testing is only one piece of the puzzle. It gives you some information, and if you're not going to do anything with that information, whether it be targeted closures, whether it be staying home and isolating, we're not going to stop spread of disease.
Well, as far as getting more tests, that's going to take a while. She says it takes 6 months or more to significantly increase production capabilities. Labs don't expect to see the ramp up in supplies until the first part of 2021. Former Notre Dame football coach Lou Holtz says that he tested positive for COVID-19. The 83-year-old legendary coach confirmed the test to a South Carolina TV station, telling them he does not have a lot of energy right now. Lou Holtz coached at Notre Dame for 10 years and led them to the 1988 title. At 4:47, let's toss things over to Todd for a check of our windy forecast this Friday, Todd.
You know, I was laying in bed this morning and I could hear the wind kind of rattle in my house a little bit still, as these gusts are still up in that 30 to 40 mile per hour range in some locations, Lauren. Now, they're starting to die down, though, off to our south and west, and the trend will be for the wind to continue to diminish throughout the course of the day. So the windiest part of the day is this morning, and then by the time we get to the noon hour and into the evening hours, things will be a lot calmer. But the good news is, you see this arrow here, it's out of the southwest, and that's a mild wind direction for us, the same one that we had yesterday that helped to bring our temperature up to 65 degrees. I don't know if we'll get quite to 65 today, but we should get into the 60s here for your afternoon highs. 55 degrees right now with clear skies in Indianapolis. Look at the humidity, 37%. The air is really, really dry. You may have noticed it in your house if you don't have a humidifier on yet. You wake up in the morning and your mouth's a little dry, or if you're out and about, the dry air is in place, and that's why yesterday, on top of the wind advisory, we had those red flag warnings, which was supposed to limit you or prevent you from burning because the air is so dry, the ground is dry, and we had those gusty winds. So thankfully, both the wind advisory and that red flag warning has been dropped across the area. 55 in Bloomington, that's a pretty common number, up through Crawfordsville. 56 in Tipton. 55 is the current temperature in Muncie. Throughout the day today, we'll start off partly cloudy. We'll have mostly cloudy skies, though, as we head into the evening hours tonight. But notice the temperatures once again today up into the low 60s. Really, really pleasant across the area. In fact, today may end up being a little bit better than yesterday because the winds will diminish. It won't be as gusty across the area, and temperatures are back up into the low 60s. Here's that cloud cover that's drifting through. Really no moisture with it, and back off to our west, there's not a whole lot going on as of right now. If you have plans this Friday evening, maybe high school football, or just heading out to dinner tonight, cloudy skies, sunset 5:26, but temperatures will be in the 50s. Now tomorrow, your day starts off with clouds, and we kind of have clouds around throughout the entire day tomorrow. It's a cooler day as well, with highs that'll only be up right around 50 degrees. But it's the late afternoon and evening hours that we start to bring in some scattered showers across the area, and eventually that turns into a pretty steady rain. So most of tomorrow will be dry. There could be a stray shower in the morning down to the south, but overall just a mostly cloudy during the daytime hours tomorrow. Here we are at 9 p.m. This is when the rain starts to overspread the area. It becomes pretty steady throughout the overnight hours into Sunday morning. You see a little bit of a changeover here taking place early Sunday as some colder air starts to work into the upper levels of the atmosphere. Don't be shocked if you see some snow from Lafayette over towards Peru, but it really shouldn't accumulate on the ground. So you may see some snow, but at this point not expecting any accumulation. And then as far as any of the precipitation goes, by noon Sunday, most of that is pushing off to the east, but we could see over an inch of rain in some locations here across central Indiana, with that rain moving through Saturday night and into Sunday morning. Next week, 40s and 50s, a little unsettled with several storm systems heading our way. At this point, though, we'll keep Thanksgiving dry with cloudy skies and a high of 55. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out the door this morning. Here's a live look over on the west side at I-465 and West 10th Street. You can see traffic there is moving along smoothly. You can see our camera moving around a little bit in the wind there as well. Let's take it down to the south side, I-65 near Edgewood Avenue. This is a look just south of the I-465 ramp system. You can see traffic there is moving along up to speed. No delays. We'll continue to keep an eye on your roads throughout the morning and let you know if there are any trouble spots you should avoid. It is 4:51. Walmart is making it easier for you to deck the halls while staying COVID safe. The company is now offering to deliver a freshly cut Christmas tree to your door, ready for you to hang your ornaments. Walmart will also decorate your house with glistening holiday lights. If you already have lights, you can have a team professionally install them for you and even take them down. Home Depot, Lowe's, and Williams-Sonoma are also offering similar services. Atlanta's newest high-rise building is apparently the tallest car vending machine in the country. That's according to Carvana. The online used car dealership has opened its flagship vending machine in Georgia's capital. The machine stretches 12 stories high and can carry up to 43 vehicles at a time. Carvana says customers can use the machine to purchase a vehicle and arrange for pickup in as little as 5 minutes. Once bought, Carvana says customers have 7 days to return their vehicles. It's a favorite Friday night food, and now you can enjoy it in bed. A look at Pizza Hut's newest creation coming up just after the break. And as most schools transition to e-learning, it can be challenging for kids to find help with classwork. Coming up, new at 5, we'll show you the resource one tutoring center is offering for your student. It is 4:52. We'll see you on the other side of the break. Welcome back. Pizza Hut is now encouraging you to enjoy its signature dish in bed. Take a look. This giant pepperoni pizza is actually a weighted blanket. Pizza Hut teamed up with the Gravity Blanket to create the original pan blanket. The comfy pizza pie was quickly a hit among pizza lovers, and it sold out in less than a day yesterday. The blanket costs $150, which is more than a dozen pan pizzas. It's unclear if or when Pizza Hut will have more of these on sale. Todd is just saying it's a little chilly in the studio this morning. I think could have used one of those.
You could use the blanket, and I can use the actual pizza right about now. That looks pretty good. All right, outside right now we're dealing with still breezy conditions. The wind will continue to diminish today. That's the good news. Partly cloudy skies, 62 degrees. Really a nice Friday for us. Tomorrow starts dry, but rain arrives late Saturday after sunset. That's the good news. It's pretty steady through Sunday morning, and we could see over an inch of rain. Then next week, cooler, a little unsettled with showers possible Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll break it all down for you. Have the latest news headlines as well when Raphael joins Lauren and I coming up at the top of the hour. Stay with us. We're back in just a couple minutes.